Started as a small side hustle, and I think since the pandemic, it's really grown just as a result of it's not the amount of money that you make, but it's more the amount of money that you're able to keep. You know, it's funny, before I met Tax Partners, I never had the structure that I have now.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Tax Partners. I'm here today with Josh. Would you like to tell me a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yeah, my name is Josh Davidson, and I've been with Tax Partners for a few years. I operate a small business just as a side hustle. I do small business consulting for a lot of franchise owners. Being a very big industry in Canada, it's filled with a lot of business owners that often need additional support. And started as a small side hustle, and I think since the pandemic, it's really grown just as a result of some external insights kind of really needed by a lot of our small business owners here.
Wonderful. And you're always taking new clients, correct?
Always, yeah. Evidently, I think Canada's in a bit of a precarious situation economy-wise, so we're a little at the seams currently, just with what is kind of forecasted for the next, year to 18 months. But for what it's worth, I'm always looking to grow the business. I mean, at the end of the day, it keeps me busy, and I'd rather be busy than bored.
Yeah, wonderful. Of course. Could I ask you, what kind of service have we provided to you that had made a difference?
Yeah. So I actually originally was referred here. Mahad has done a lot of work with my family in the past. Now, I had an accountant. He was nearing retirement. And with that, I was kind of seeking some additional accounting support. Upon meeting Mahad, I realized the breadth of what Tax Partners could offer was much more significant. Having a full-time job, doing a side hustle with the business, and then, just planning a little bit more for the long-term wealth building side for myself and my family personally. There was a lot of add-ons and bonuses that I felt Mahad brought to my situation. At the end of the day, there's accountants everywhere that do a wide variety of, accounting services. But to find one like Mahad in particular, who I work with, that can really check a lot of the boxes, really just seemed to be a really good fit for me. I mean, whether that be for the business or for that matter, personally. So services would be the actual tax filings for me and my family every year. And of course, the small business. And we've actually structured more of like a holding company structure as well. So with his guidance and insight, he has also managed to do that accounting as well, which is a good thing. I'd rather have all of that be done by one individual so that you can, at the end of the day, maximize, tax efficiency, which I think is so important.
Wonderful. That's really great to know. And to everyone, Mahad Mohammed is the CEO of Tax Partners. And I see that our client is really happy with his service. That's great to know. So is there any advice that Mahad Mohammed had given to you that you say it was really helpful?
Yeah, it very much is a world now where it's not the amount of money that you make, but it's more the amount of money that you're able to keep in this world. And I think that really began to resonate. You hear it from an accountant and, it kind of makes sense in your head. But then once you actually see it practically begin to compound over a series of years that you operate, it really does make a lot of sense because, there are so many complications and complexities to the tax code that, as a business owner, I want to focus on the business. I don't want to have to worry about a lot of the back end accounting and what should be done in a certain way, to know that I kind of have that guidance. And I would actually say, to ask questions when I have particular situations and know that I can get a very, thorough answer that's going to give me a lot of, accuracy in the way in which I do particular things within the business, all under the guise of tax efficiency, right? If you can save an additional 3-4% even every year, that over time, you can reinvest it in your business. You can pay yourself a little bit more, whatever that particular situation is. And I just feel as though Mahad really lives by that philosophy of long-term tax planning can really generate not only wealth for yourself, but give the business itself more opportunities throughout the course of time, which I think is extremely valuable. And I'm only 3 years in with working with Mahad, and I've already, in just the 3-year period, really begun to see, the laying of an infrastructure that I think is really going to begin to compound on itself over the next decade or two, whether that be in my own personal life or for the business, right?
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's one of Mahad's quotes always. It's not about what you make, it's what you keep. That's a wonderful.
Yeah, otherwise they will take everything from you, right? I mean, that's the world we live in. And to be able to navigate that is, I feel like a lot of people don't take that sentiment as seriously as they should,
Yes.
especially when I work with small business owners. You would be surprised how many of them just do the basic rudimentary tax filing every year without really thinking about the long term in terms of ways to do things slightly different, ways to organize the business in a way that can actually make them more profitable in that venture, right?
Yes. Like we say, normally a lot of people like to keep the old school way, so they don't like to change and learn how to make it more efficient.
And we live in such a new age world now, right? Where there's so much more opportunity out there to take advantage of such small things, such as even just accounting in your business, right?
Yes, it's important. So why would you recommend Tax Partners?
In a world where there's so many accountants out there, to find ones that really look at a bird's eye view of not just your business or not just your personal tax returns every year, building a more strategic tax plan with respect to how your businesses and your personal life all integrate with respect to tax obligations as a citizen of Canada, or for that matter, a small business owner of Canada. It's funny, before I met Tax Partners, I never had the structure that I have now, which quite frankly, I don't know if I would have ever discovered that, right? I mean, if I didn't sit down and have these conversations and learn, I'm a big advocate of lifelong learning, and there's so much that you can learn in this life. And these are the things that, for what it's worth, they don't teach you. And, to have someone there to kind of guide that as more of a bird's eye view just layers on those benefits over time, which I think, again, if you're a small business owner, it's going to benefit the business. If you're working for an employer and you're just filing your average return every year, it's going to benefit that return. And it might even give you a little optimism to take more risk in your life, knowing that you have that foundation set, whether that's with another business or opening your first business. And it all comes down to money at the end of the day.
Yes.
And accounting really is such a vital piece of that puzzle.
Well, I appreciate a lot you coming here today and giving your time. Would you like to tell our followers what is the name of your business?
Yeah. So SGL Hospitality is the name of my consulting business. Like I said, we are a little at the seams, but you type that into Google, you can look me up on LinkedIn, and if you have a small business and you are finding the landscape to be challenging, by all means, reach out. Me and my team, honestly, we help hundreds of people to better their situation, and I'd love the opportunity. I mean, depending on who reaches out.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate you being here.
Of course.
And thank you for calling us.